The energy that I'm getting overall from this spread is we've had to walk the path of darkness and sometimes even our own darkness. And when I say darkness, I mean doing the shadow work. I mean allowing ourselves to look deep within ourselves, look at our shadows in order to see our light, to allow ourselves to have the experiences that we've needed to have in order to move into the next level of ourselves. And that's what this feels like, especially with the card realization. A realization, revelation, is an understanding of ourselves. And so we've been walking this path individually, and again, it has an effect on the collective. Collectively, we've been walking this path as well. So your individual work as your human being, as your human self, is affecting the collective energy. And again, macro and micro, we've been doing this ascension collectively. The planet is going through an ascension process, but as we work within ourselves, as we heal within ourselves, as we expand and grow in consciousness within ourselves, our energy affects the collective consciousness. Our energy affects the global ascension. When we say that you are affecting the planet, we mean it. It's this energy of, okay, they're calling me to an example. There's a They're calling me to two examples. The first is a meme or a story that I heard a long time ago about a little boy who was throwing, I think, like some kind of sea creature back into the sea. And maybe, I don't know if it was like a little, I don't know what it was, something that had washed off onto shore. And he was throwing it back into the sea. And the mother or the father said, "Why are you doing that?" I'm getting this completely wrong, but it's the gist of the story. And the mother or the father said, why are you doing that? There's hundreds of these things. What does it matter? And the little boy said, "Well, it matters to this one. It matters to this one." And he throws it back into the sea where it belongs. And so that's one metaphor. The second is they're showing me, you know how on a 6-pack of like soda or something, you have those plastic rings. And as a child of the 80s, I was always taught to cut up the rings when you're done with them before putting it in the garbage, because the plastic rings, when they're in that circle, if they're not cut up, animals can get into the garbage, and it could cause like strangulation and stuff. I'm also seeing, fishing nets and things like that, harming sea life and stuff like that. It's this metaphor. You might not see the effects right now as you're cutting up those rings. You might not see the consequences of your actions. You might not see the effects of the choices that you make and the actions that you take right now. But it makes a difference, and you might never know. We've channeled this message before because a lot of us on this ascension journey, we really struggle. We struggle because we're going through our own journey and cycles of healing, and we know the transformation it's making for ourselves, but especially as those of us who just want to make a change for this world, who loves this world so much and wants to see it be better. It can be really difficult, especially when you're looking at the news and you're looking at events and circumstances, and you're like, it feels like it's going in the other direction. And it's like, well, what does it matter? It's almost, sometimes it makes you want to just give in and give up. And it's like, what does it matter? But it matters. And you might not be able to see it. You might not be able to see how much it matters. But the things that you're healing, the work that you're doing, the mindsets and beliefs that you're changing, the patterns that you're changing about yourself as an individual, is having some kind of ripple effect. And you might not be able to see how far those ripples move. Sometimes you get the magic and the gift of seeing those ripple effects in your everyday experience, in your everyday life. And sometimes you will never see it. Sometimes you will never see how far those ripples extend. Somebody once told me with my books that I was lighting candles in the dark. And recently I realized that I may never know where that light reaches. I may never know who reads my books or what they think or how it affects them, and even if it's changing their lives. All I can do as a writer, as an author, as an artist, is to create the best book and write the best story and tell it in the best way that I know how, and put it out into the world. And I realized that That's what I do as a human being. The only thing that I can do is be the best version of myself that I can be. That's not reaching for perfectionism, but recognizing who I am here in this moment, that I might have made mistakes in the past, or I might be making mistakes still, but I am doing the best that I can in this moment, not knowing how that's affecting the world, how that's affecting people around me, how that's affecting even me. But I can just be the best person that I can be, the best version of myself. And so that's what I aspire to. Again, it's not perfectionism. We don't reach for perfectionism. It's not a destination. It's the journey. It's the journey of being the best version of yourself now in this present moment. That's where your consciousness is. It's about making conscious and mindful choices that are aligned with your soul, that are aligned with love. And on this ascension journey, we go through these healing cycles. We clear our patterns and our beliefs and our energy, and we heal from past pain and traumas and cycles. We do that healing work not knowing what's to come, but so that we can ourselves act in more kindness and embody more compassion and more empathy and more love and more patience and more forgiveness. And those things make a difference. They make a difference. They matter. And you might not, again, be able to see how it matters, but it matters. It lights the way where there was darkness. It lights the way. But it's all about change now. Shifting your perspective and your energy now. Being the best version of yourself now. And doing that inner work to bring all of that to your awareness now. With this patience card, it is, again, the message that it is not a destination. It is part of the journey. It is part of the process. Ascension is a process. It reminded me now of the metaphor of the tree. And for some reason, I'm hearing Hamilton, George Washington in the play Hamilton singing about, "I'll sit under this vine tree." That lyric. And it's this energy of that tree was once a little nut that grew. And who knows who's going to sit under that tree in generations to come. But that's not the reason why you plant it. You plant that tree for those future generations. You might not know who's there. You might not know for what purpose. You might not know what happens to that tree, but you plant it now. You plant it now. And you allow for the process, and that's where you have trust, and that's where you have faith. Through your ascension journey, you have been understanding yourself and understanding your path through your faith and through your trust. And faith isn't blind, so to speak. It's not outside of yourself. Faith is within yourself, in your co-creation with God's source. And you can call it the universe, you can call it God, you can call it creator, higher power. That higher energy, that guiding energy, that guiding force that you feel as part of you. You're working as one. God is not something that is outside of you or above you. God is within you. God is within everything. It is a consciousness that is within everything, that permeates everything. God is the tapestry. If we're all unique threads in the tapestry of creation, God itself is that tapestry. That's how we are one with all. That's how we are one with God. And so we've been walking this path in this sense of darkness for centuries, for millennia, generations, eons. And we're shifting now. We've been going through a shift and an ascension for decades now. But we're at this apex. We're at a crucial turning point now. That began really shifting in around 2012, but that's really reaching its height and point now. This is where the choice point is. This is where the turning point is. This is where we become consciously aware of our actions and our choices and make those movements forward. This is where we light the path. And through your inner work, you are lighting the way for yourself and for others. It has taken time. It has taken self-compassion and empathy and healing. Through it, you have learned. Through it, you have empowered yourself. You have loved yourself. You have connected to yourself. The Oracle of Delphi, know thyself. Through knowing yourself, deeply knowing yourself. I don't mean the surface level stuff. I mean doing that inner work, really knowing yourself. Both sides, that duality, the shadow and the light, and integrating them into wholeness, integrating them into one. Through your journey, your ascension, you have been gaining wisdom and liberating yourself from old patterns and beliefs, trusting your intuition, trusting that inner knowing, trusting your higher heart. And your higher heart is what leads you along your ascension path to step into a place where you are authentically you. And what is authenticity? Authenticity is truth. It's alignment. It's sovereignty. It's personal empowerment. It's not power over others. It's not controlling your environment. It's recognizing that you have power within yourself, personal power. And from that space, you get to choose your life. Yes, in some ways we operate within certain collective structures, within certain collective paradigms. But through your work, you can also help to change that through maybe advocacy work, or maybe through the arts, or through your business or your career, or even just expressing who you are. You get to make changes to those paradigms. Don't jump ahead. Allow yourself to be where you are. That's part of acceptance. Your present moment is your point of power. And how you express yourself, how you present yourself in that authenticity is your power. That's how you change the world. That's how we create these new beginnings. That's how we step through a new doorway. And this eclipse energy feels like a reminder of that. And it feels like a push, a challenge, an urging from the universe. I'm getting this energy, this universal energy, not just for humans, but this universal energy, this belief in humanity, that we can make this shift, that we can transform ourselves, that we can raise our frequency and shift in consciousness, that we can see things from a different angle than the way that we were operating, in that trapped way that we were operating in the past. We can make this shift. And this eclipse energy is helping to support that. We're going to bring in the Keepers of the Light. We're going to use the Keepers of the Light deck. We're going to call in the Ascended Masters. But first, I just want to see what else they have to say about this eclipse energy. Even this eclipse cycle. What about this eclipse energy do we need to know right now? What do we need to know about this eclipse energy? I'm just getting this energy of like all eyes is on planet Earth right now. All eyes is on humanity. And there is a loving belief in humanity. It's a very parental kind of energy. And this is, when I'm speaking of this, of course it's God's source, but I'm also feeling like this is other dimensions. This is other species that have their focus on us, that has their attention on us, wanting us to raise our vibration, supporting us in raising our frequency, believing the best in humanity, but understanding that it's like a parent to a child. You know, you can't dictate to a child. You have to encourage them. You have to guide them. That's all they can do. A child is an individual on their own. In essence, you can influence a child and kind of mold them in a way, but you're not meant to mold them in your image. You're meant to guide them to be their independent nature. You're meant to guide them to be fully authentic, fully who they are, to be sovereign beings of themselves. You're just the parent. The parent is not meant to hold them back. The parent is meant to teach the child and guide the child until they are old enough that they feel that confidence to fly. That's what this energy is. Humanity can fly. We've been holding ourselves back in many ways. We've been held back in many ways, depending on how you look at it. But we've been holding ourselves back in many ways, but now there is a huge shift that is coming. And it's so encouraging. We have this ability to fly. Yeah, we have Mahavatar Babaji, soul expansion. It says, your consciousness is expanding. You understand the connections between all things. For the past, and right behind him, there it is, the seed of life kind of energy, that sacred geometry. For the past several weeks, we have been in these soul path readings and then some, even sacred union energy updates. We've been channeling the interconnectedness of all things, and they've been showing me the seed of life energy. Everything is interconnected. It's when we forget that, when we lose perspective of that. It's a very specific phrase. I was going to say lose sight of that, but it's a very specific phrase because it's all about your perspective. It's all about how you're seeing things, how you're consciously choosing to see things. So we've lost perspective or perception of that. And that's what creates separation. That's what creates division. But separation and division is an illusion. We are all interconnected. I'm hearing this is a message for humanity to remember your interconnectedness, to remember how you are all connected. And through your individual soul's expansion, you are helping the planet to expand. There is nothing that is not interconnected here. There is nothing that does not play a part. There is nothing that does not have a role. There is nothing that does not serve the greater consciousness, the greater collective. The work that you are doing along your individual soul path is instrumental to that of the planetary's collective consciousness, the planetary's expansion. It is instrumental. It is necessary. It is needed. And everybody plays a part. But look beyond the physical 3D-ness of your human experience. Allow yourself to raise in your perspective. See things from the 360 view. See things from the soul's perspective. For example, in connections and relationships, allow yourself to see, what is this person showing me? Everything in our life is a mirror. Everything in our world is a mirror. What is this person showing me about myself? How I can expand and how I can evolve? And understand then that as you expand and evolve, that has a ripple effect on the collective consciousness. It is not just one thing or the other. Look at things from the bigger perspective. See things from that bird's eye view. There are more pieces of the puzzle that you might not be aware of. And so, as humans, we get very narrow perspectives of things. We see things as very black or white, but there's a whole spectrum of color. There's a whole spectrum of energy that's at play here. And you don't have to see everything. That's not your job. That is God's job. You don't have to see everything. That's the universal consciousness's job. But the more that you connect to your heart space, the more you allow your third eye to open up and see things from a wider perspective rather than the drama and the everyday of human existence. The more you allow yourself to expand as a soul and see yourself and others as a soul and see the world around you as a living consciousness. Everything has energy. The more it affects the whole. I'm almost laughing to myself because they're showing me my car and they're reminding me about how I've, number one, named my car and I talk to my car. And I even will sometimes pat the dashboard or the steering wheel and be like, I love you. I love you, my car. Thank you for giving me a beautiful journey on a road trip. Let's go. I even sometimes say, let's just go for a drive and stretch your legs. And my car loves it. Everything has an energy. It's what you put into it. It's how you treat it. It's how you treat yourself. Everything is interconnected. Do we understand this yet? Do we see everything is interconnected? And it is such a beautiful and magical thing to understand the interconnectedness of all things. This is how we expand within ourselves, and this is how we expand within the world. And as we expand within the world, guess what? Even the universe expands, but we're not going to get into that today. Even the universe is expanding through us, as parts of the universe, as parts of the whole. This is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful journey. Let's bring it back. Let's bring it back to this eclipse energy. What do we need to know? Let's bring it back to this eclipse energy. What do we need to know, please? What do we need to know with this eclipse energy? Awakening presence. This is awakening to yourself and awakening to this awareness around you. The universe is within you. Wear a cloak of protection and love. So I feel like this energy is saying this eclipse energy is pushing you to expand within yourself, to see differently, to open up within yourself. Challenging you not to resist changes, not to resist transformation, not to resist the expansion that is trying to come through you, but to allow yourself to open up to it. We'll be looking deeper. Oh my gosh, you can't make this shit up. Oh my God, I love the work. I love this work. I love this work. I just love it. I feel so freaking honored to do this because this energy is amazing. And this energy is amazing because of all of you. And I really want you guys to understand this. It's amazing because of you, because you're doing the work. You're doing the work and you're making these shifts. You're creating these shifts through your own inner transformation. We have Gaia, Earth connection. Be mindful of the planet. Come back to Earth. Stay grounded. So as we're going through these transformations, as we're going through these shifts, as we're going through these gateways, make sure that you're staying grounded to the earth. This could be an earthing mat. This could be being out in nature, being by the water. Even taking baths connects you to the water. So if you're not able to go outside, showers and baths, or even just like running your hands under the water will help to clear your energy, will help to ground your energy. But being very grounded to the earth. Because remember, you are the bridge. You're the bridge between the spiritual realm and the earthly plane. And that's what this ascension journey is really showing us and teaching us, is that that's what bringing heaven to earth is, so to speak. That quote, heaven, bring heaven to earth. The kingdom of heaven is within you. It is within you. As physical beings, through your shift in consciousness, through your ascension journey, you are anchoring that consciousness, that higher frequency, that higher consciousness, that love energy down into this earthly plane. You're anchoring it in by embodying more compassion, more love, more empathy, more forgiveness, more peace, more presence. That's what you embody. That's what you embody. And that's what creates this new earth energy. So connect to the earth, ground your energy, take care of your earth, take care of each other. There's a lot of shifts that are coming through, and it's just going to keep accelerating. But it's this message to humanity of you've got this. Keep going, keep doing the work. Don't give up. It matters. You matter.